Yo, what's up guys? Today we're gonna be building a working rocket in Minecraft. But it's just not any rocket. It's the one that flew Katy Perry into space. Now without further ado, let's hop into the game. First we begin by creating a new world. Okay. Out of all the 4 parts of our build process, we'll proceed with the first step. I'm gonna be utilizing a mod called Vmod, which essentially adds some Gmod stuff into Minecraft. Here we can see the ship scaling option from the tool gun by pressing the tab button. And you can see it right here in the corner. I'm gonna set mine to 0.5. Now let's see what happens if we beam it into the ship. Whoa, look at that. This thing is powerful because you can literally scale anything down to a certain size and add little details a normal scale block can't do. We'll need the dimensions of this thing. Here it says 2.8, assuming that it includes the flaps, so I'm comparing it on top of Falcon 9, which is 3.7 meters in diameter. And apparently it's a bit narrower than Falcon 9, so I'm assuming it's gonna be 3.6. Right now I'm building the diameter as our reference, so that's 3 blocks and a half slab each side of it, so it's technically 3.5. Now it's the matter of making it feel like a circle. Now over to the sides. Alright. It looks more like a square than a circle. I'm gonna add some vertical stairs. Guess that will do. Let's put our mini ship. Gonna make it to size... Wait, that's a cross. I'm gonna make it as round as possible. Like the actual thing. Yep, over here. Yeah. Some blocks here. I'm gonna put some slices on the corners. I'll put each layer blocks so it gets smoother, and I'm just gonna put some concrete, and there you go. This ain't Minecraft anymore. I've noticed something, and I think it's the M dome of the booster right here on the top. In this 3D model we can see that there's a curve inside of the bigger cylinder, so I'm gonna take account of that. Yeah, I think it's about this height for the bigger cylinder. Does that look correct? Spam those blocks here and there. There, okay. Over to the side. So I'm gonna be replacing them with concrete now. On the other side as well. It looks like something else at the moment, but I assure you it'll get better. Dome is always the hard part because I'm not good at doing spheres in Minecraft. Gotta add them to the sides as well. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just trusting the process. Yeah, I think bite looks better here. Oops. Okay, I think this looks fine. I think it turned out fine. Time to build it upwards just to fill the gaps. Hi, this is the future me. If I had the chance, I'd use World Edit here because it's tedious as hell. Bro, the layers! It's crazy! Building the layers one by one was such a pain in the butt, so I hope you like and subscribe to see more content like this to support what I do. And I'm still missing something. Finally, we can continue on the upper structure, which is the bigger cylinder. We're gonna be connecting them like a little slope in this side. Like that. Place some of them here. The other side. That's the slopes done. Over to the cylinder. Yeah. The sides. And there we go. That's the wider cylinder. Now we're gonna be making the fins, and I just happen to know this little trick in Create where you can utilize mechanical bearings to make very smooth angles that are impossible otherwise. In the model they got fins at a 45-degree angle, so I'll set mine as well. It's not perfect, but I promise this technique would make your builds better. Just don't be like that one particular creator. There you go, it's just tilted. With that very demonstration, I am integrating it into the ship just for you to see how powerful the technique is. Fill it in, glue it together like so, and don't forget to set the mechanical bearing to not place and activate the sequence gear shift. There you go. And fill the blocks back in. I'm gonna do it across all sides. Like so. Over here.
Place it back in and nice.
Nice.
Once again, we're still far from over and oh boy, I don't even know what time it is. Now we're gonna be making the enclosure for the landing legs. There's a lot of slice and layers in each. But I guess it's worth it though, it looks better. A lot of building. Go for the mechanical bearing. There you go, that looks fresh. There we go, we are now at this part where we can start making the engine gimbal. This ensures that the rocket can tilt to balance itself in case something very wrong happens. Sorry about that. Anyways, how do we build a gimbaling engine? Well, here's what the wiki says. Basically, we make a bearing that rotates at axis X and make one on top of it on axis Z. And it's just as simple as that. It's just a matter of centering it and actually controlling it. I haven't come up with a better solution when it comes to precise gimbaling, but I will proceed anyway. At the moment, you can see it's really loose. Here's how I standard my gimbal engine when they don't detect a tilt. This is also how I limit the gimbal system to a certain angle so it doesn't overshoot that much with the use of collision. Like so. Now look at this. I mean, yeah, you can see it move a little bit, I guess. Now we'll give it a simple system where if it detects tilt, it will try to counteract immediately and have a conditional detector if the rocket is almost upright or not. I'm gonna begin by assigning these redstone links where red represents front tilt, orange for back tilt, yellow, you get the idea. We can test gimbal the engines at this point using a link controller. Whoa, look at that! Here's a better view. Whoa, isn't that nice? Now we make our conditional redstone where the gimbal resets to center when the rocket is kinda upright. We get the return signal here. It's just gonna be called by that. And then it deactivates once these links slide up. But to make them detect tilt, I have this mod called Clockwork Additions, which has a block that detects the tilt of a ship and outputs it as a redstone signal. Place it up here. Oops, sorry. I actually forgot to set it to tilt. It's powered up. Here we go. It's tilted accordingly, I guess. At this point, we can try and make it to fly, but we can't expect things to go well. I'm also adding an angular velocity detector to really tune our rocket. It's because the flights aren't as good as the real one. Yeah, nah. Now I'm building a simple system where it compares the measure of angular velocity and tilt. Basically what this system does is it checks for tilt and then it corrects it by gimbaling the engine while it's firing. And once the angular velocity is greater than the tilt signal, it then deactivates the tilt gimbal and gives the angular velocity signal a high priority to prevent overshoot. Basically it counters the effects of the tilt just at the right time. And why does it still do that? Yeah, that didn't really work. I really didn't like that. So I spent the next 30 minutes figuring out what went wrong, and it was just simply my dumbass not knowing redstone properly. It appears that I don't know how comparators work, so I am going to redesign that real quick. This should work, but arguably I should really tweak the config too. Set it to 10. Huh? I set it twice as much as my tilt signal. Oh, okay, that's so much better. I think, yeah. I mean, it's not perfect. Okay, now it's going down. Okay. Nice. Wow. Yeah, come on, that's Minecraft rocketry right there. It's crazy. So I think that will wrap it up for this video, and we still have more parts to do, so I will see you all in the next one. Bye!